Well, good morning. My name is Carla, and today we're going to be trying out a new foundation to me, the Covergirl Outlast Foundation. Emily Noel highly recommends this, so I figured I would pick it up. And I really like this pink top, so I decided that I was going to pair it with a nice eyeshadow look. So I'm going to be using Natasha Denona, the Mini Crush palette today. As far as my scent of the day, my favorite lotion from Victoria's Secret is Coconut Passion. There you go. So I have that on today. I love gourmand scents, light florals, and clean scents for the most part. So Coconut Passion is right up my alley. To start things off, I did my skincare, and this is the skincare that I'm using. At the moment, this is the toner. It is the First Aid toner. It is a little more nourishing and less astringent than other toners, and this I like to use in the morning. I use my Bobbi Brown eye cream, and this is nice and thick and creamy for under the eyes, gets them ready for makeup. My Rare Beauty lip balm, and of course my Estee Lauder Day Wear Moisturizer with SPF in it. Today I'm going to be using Charlotte Tilbury Color Corrector. This is in shade 2, and I find that if I use a color corrector, I don't have to put as much concealer on, and for mature eyes, that's ideal. So before I even start my makeup look, I do my color corrector. You can already see the difference. Today I'm using my iPad to film, and I'm filming in front of my window. And this is going to be a little tricky because when you turn your iPad so that you can see wide like this, you have to look at this little bitty lens instead of looking at the screen. And of course you have the tendency to look at the screen. So I'm going to be trying to be conscientious about doing that. Next thing I'm going to use is my Milani eyeshadow primer. I decided I'm definitely going to purchase the new Essence because I think that it would work well, and I like having affordable options as far as eye primers goes. I've already discussed how I feel like it really helps with my more oily eyelids and my mature eyes. Primer for today is going to be L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. This again is an illuminating primer. I like to put it all over the face. It gives that similar effect to the Charlotte Tilbury or the e.l.f. primer, just a little bit of an illuminating glow. Hope you can see that. So let's go in with our Covergirl foundation now. This is in the shade Creamy Natural. I ordered it online, so lately I've been ordering foundations that are too light for me. Let's see how this one is. So the first thing that I'll do is just spread it on my face like this. Get my mirror and my BK 101. I just brought my mirror. Sorry guys. Let's use Charlotte Tilbury. There we go. So, right off the bat, looks like it's too light, a little bit too light. I can always correct that with bronzer, other products. I like the consistency. It's not really liquidy. It seems to be going on my skin really nicely, blending in really nicely. I put my fan on because whenever I film, I start having hot flashes. It's hard to sweat and put makeup on at the same time. So I hope you can see, besides it being light and natural sunlight, I hope that you can see how it's applying. Apparently this foundation is a long-lasting foundation, and I'm gonna have my makeup on for quite a while today, so we'll be able to kind of test it and see. I need my mirror. Give me a second. All right. So, looking a little closer at this, I have no complaints. To be completely honest, I don't know if it's my skin type or if I'm just not the pickiest person, but most foundations do pretty well on my skin. So far so good. Next, let's do concealer, and today I'm going to be using Catrice True Skin Concealer. This is in the shade Cashmere. As I think I've told you before, I usually get concealers that are too light for me as well. I only use a little bit of concealer. The True Skin is, I believe, Andrea's favorite concealer. She's quite a bit younger than me. I can see why she likes it. I feel like it's more of a full coverage concealer. It's creamy, but it goes on really well. I think for mature eyelids, maybe a little bit too thick. But it's given me really good coverage. Hold on just a second. Thought I was gonna sneeze there. As far as bronzer goes, today, Wet n Wild bronzer. Very affordable. And as I mentioned before, I like a little more cool tone or red tone bronzer. My workhorse, the e.l.f. Duo Complexion Brush. I really like the tone of this bronzer, and it goes on just as good as any other bronzer, to be honest. Do just a little bit of contouring here today. Of course, I always like to put a little bit through my upper eyelids for a more cohesive look. I will have to look at this later and figure out how I'm doing, because I feel like I'm not making good eye contact at all, and I'm trying to use the mirror and look at this little bitty lens on my iPad. So if I'm blocking your view and this is difficult to watch, just know this is my 4th video, and I'm just going to keep getting better and better. My main purpose for trying this today is that I wanted to see how I would film with natural light. So I set my iPad up on a dresser. I'm actually sitting on my bed. I have one of those higher up beds that has the drawers underneath. So if it goes well today, I'll move my vanity over and then I'll be organized again. I just wanted to try this for today. We have our bronzer on. Now we're going to do our blush. For blush today, I'm going to use my Flower Beauty. And Flower Beauty, as most of you know, is owned by Drew Barrymore. The shade of this is Barrymore. I think that's just adorable. This is the color. I think this kind of more coolie, pinky color is very flattering on my skin tone. And Flower Beauty blushes are just wonderful. They have just a little bit of a glow to them. Take a little over the bridge of my nose. My husband is looking for cameras. What a sweetie. So stay tuned. We're gonna, now that I'm just kind of starting to get used to making content, now the next step is to kind of up our game as far as the quality goes. Next move is my clear eyebrow gel from Anastasia. I don't know if you can see how light my eyebrows are. They need a lot of help to stay put. There we go. Highlighter. I got a new highlighter. I've wanted this for a long time. It's the Flower Beauty, the Pyramid highlighter. I just like to swirl my brush all around. Pick up a little bit of all the colors. Let's see how brightening this is. Oh, nice. My kind of glow. This is pretty intense. Love this. Love good highlighter. Powder. Today we're going to use Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder, and I have the shade, I had all this written down, Buff Beige. I'm going to use a BK Beauty powder brush. This is the 103 brush from BK Beauty. Pardon my sniffles. I've got the fan going here. So I'm going to powder my whole face. Super nice. I am going to take a fluffy brush here, swirl it in, and set my under eyes. Have just a little bit of creasing from the Catrice. The Catrice. I probably should have kind of went over that a little bit before. All right. Lipstick is next. Sorry for my sniffles. My lip liner is from MAC. This is in the shade Soar. It's a neutral pink. The MAC lip liners are iconic. They're traditional pencil, and they're a little bit drier, not as creamy as the NYX that I used yesterday. They are long lasting. I'm going to use another Milani lipstick today. This is kind of a mauve shade, and it is in the shade Secret. Again, these Milani lipsticks are my very favorite lipsticks. Very neutral, light pink color. We're going to use the Natasha Denona Mini Crush palette now. And I think maybe I've only ever dipped into the darkest color here for another look. So I'm looking forward to today using all of the shades. First, we're going to start with the lightest color right here in our crease. I sure do hope you guys can see these looks better now. Nice transition color. You saw how easily that blended. Next, we're going to go into the next deepest shade, also a creamy matte. Just deepen things up on the outer part of the lid, bringing it in. Beautiful. Can't wait to get my vanity over here so that I'm not reaching around. I have everything in front of me. We'll just see how this looks on camera as far as being able to show you all the colors better. I'm going to take a smaller brush. I'm going to use the darkest shade to really deepen things up. Right here. Just a little bit in the crease. Take it down underneath the eye. Very pretty. Now we're going to take the darkest shimmer on our finger. Put that right out here. I think this would show up better if I wet my brush, which when I get my vanity over here, I'll have all that stuff. Hopefully you can see though, even without wetting my brush, for a day look, that's really nice. And I'm going to use the lightest shimmer on the inner portion of the upper eyelid. This should really make the look pop. This is a little more, I don't want to say glittery, but it has a little bit rougher of a texture. There, that popped. I hope I'm not covering my face while I'm doing this. Yeah, you can see these shadows a lot better now. Eyeliner for today is going to be the plum shade in Makeup by Mario. This is not my favorite eyeliner formula. You may be able to see it has a little bit more drag than I prefer, and it has a slightly uneven application, and once you put it on, it's a little more difficult with an angled brush to get it nice and smoothed out. I'm going to try. Just don't have a lot of time to work with it. I would say that's probably pretty good for longevity. Sweat and tear proof. You can see just how much that skips around. And I have the brown and the black shade in this as well. And I I struggle every time I put it on. What I may do is, well, one good thing is it does have a little smudger brush, but I found that doesn't really work. I apologize for my sniffling. It's either sweating or sniffling. Neither one are good options, are they? So that helped it a little bit. Still not my favorite. For brows today, we're going to do all NYX products. The NYX Professional Makeup Eyeliner. This is the lightest shade. It has a spoolie on one end and it has a super fine pencil. Pretty much all of these are similar to the Anastasia original mini brow pencil. I hope I'm not covering my face up, guys. I'm just going to keep getting better and better and better at this. I'm a fast learner. I'm going to turn my fan off. I'm tired of sniffling. There. I think this is drying out. Usually it goes on so much easier than this. Yeah, this is definitely drying out. I've never struggled like this to put this NYX brow liner on. It's usually so much better than this. I need to get a new one. I'm going to use my NYX Thick It Stick It. I have 3 different brow gels. I have this one, the e.l.f., and the Benefit. I guess I like them all equally, pretty much. Okay, so not the best brow day. That's okay. I'm working from home today. Only we know. Mascara, I don't hear this talked about a lot. This is the NYX On the Rise mascara. I think I got this free with an Ulta order when I placed a NYX order. And here is the bristles. It is not a wet formula, but I feel like it goes on really nice, and it makes my lashes look pretty good with just a couple of coats. Try not to make all those crazy faces that we make when we're putting makeup on. Hope you can see that. So I'm looking at my foundation and my concealer, and boy, do they look cakey, you guys. I think the Catrice True Skin and the Covergirl Outlast are going to be for the younger girls. I feel super makeup-y. I don't feel natural at all. And there's a time and a place for that. Not the cakey look, but for more coverage, but I'm not crazy about it. So now I'm going to take my setting spray. Today I'm going to use the All Nighter from Urban Decay. Cult classic. like the way it smells too. And we're going to try to salvage these eyelids. Note to self and y'all, this NYX mascara is smudging now that I'm putting the setting spray on top of it. So note to self for future, put setting spray on before NYX mascara. So this is the look today. I struggled a lot today, so if you stayed with me till the end, thank you so much. We're going to keep working at this, keep trying, keep getting better and better, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.